My name is Stephen Guffey, and I am Associate Professor of Physical Therapy at Arkansas State University. We want to talk with you today about treating plantar fasciitis. What we have set up is an example of a combination of a number of physical agents that we've used in a research design recently and found to be superior over stretching by itself. So in order for you to understand what we're doing, let's take a look at the instrumentation that we'll be using today. Let's start by letting you see the instrumentation that we're going to be using in the treatment today. We have the Dynatronics Quad 7, which is a device that delivers compression and heat and cold. Today we won't be using the compression, but we will be using heat. We'll also be delivering electrical stim in the treatment. We have the Dynatronics Solaris 706 Plus device, from which we'll be delivering biphasic current in a chronic pain protocol. The pulse duration will be set at about 250 microseconds, and we'll be using a pulse rate of 5 pulses per second. As you can see, we have combined these two products together by attaching half of the circuit for the electrical stim into a handheld probe that comes with the Quad 7, so that the probe itself becomes able to deliver electrical current, and then the patient is attached through a dispersive electrode, making this a monopolar electrode arrangement. We also are using some conductive gel over the plantar fascia, which I'll point out in a moment, and then we simply will deliver the current and the heat through the handheld probe, along with some soft tissue mobilization techniques. This patient has a subacute to chronic plantar fasciitis. This is characterized by pain in the plantar fascia area between the calcaneus and the metatarsal heads, more commonly at the adductor tubercle of the calcaneus. The condition is characterized by pain on weight bearing, but particularly pain with the first steps of the morning or any time the patient stands and weight bears after being seated for a period of time. In our case, the patient is quite tender over the adductor tubercle, and then along, less tender but somewhat tender, along the path of the plantar fascia as it moves toward the first two metatarsal heads. The way that we will go about treating this is we've applied conductive medium to the plantar fascia area, and then we will now, delivering electrical stim and heat through the probe, we will cover the area generally, and then we will work with frictional and cross-frictional type techniques over areas where the patient has tightness or tenderness that we've identified from our exam of the patient. In this case, as I mentioned, mostly around the adductor tubercle, but also along and just before we reach the metatarsal heads. So we'll proceed with this treatment for approximately 15 minutes, working on the soft tissue, increasing the pressure, changing the angle of delivery based on what we found in the patient's exam as we're delivering the E-stim and the heat. Now that we've delivered the electrical stim, the heat, and the soft tissue mobilization using the Quad 7 and E-stim combination, we're going to end the treatment, physical agents-wise, with light. We're going to be using a combination of red and infrared light. We're going to be delivering at 9 joules per centimeter squared, and we're going to treat about 3 different locations along the plantar fascia. We'll initiate the treatment first over the adductor tubercle, and then proceed to treat that spot, and then our next position will be mid-plantar fascia, and we will deliver our 9 joules treatment in that location, and then finally we'll do another application of 9 joules at the distal end of the plantar fascia near the metatarsal heads. Each of those spots will receive light at 9 joules per centimeter squared, and that'll complete the physical agents delivery of the treatment program. Of course, the total treatment of plantar fasciitis is not just the application of physical agents. The patient should be placed on a stretching program that's performed daily. Some examples would be some seated heel cord stretches, some standing heel cord stretches, some self-mobilization over a ball or a soda bottle that's been filled with water. Routine and regular stretches are extremely important. But in our research, we've compared groups that received stem and heat and soft tissue and manipulation and stretching with those that received the same treatment but with the addition of the light energy that we just demonstrated. And we find that the improvement among the persons who received the light treatment is twofold that to the other group, both in terms of pain reduction and in terms of functional gain as measured by the foot function index.